Like now?
No. Yes. That's the point of a countdown.
Oh,
That's a
dear.
terrible countdown. Hello and welcome to Wandering Lonely as Clouds, because the witch is dead. A very special TTRPG fundraiser in aid of the Irish Cancer Society. And I am Declan, says it right there on the overlay, and I am the DM for this, what promises to be a adventure into madness. And this evening I am joined by James, Fiona, and Eilish, who you will recognize from D8 Dungeon, Rise of the Forsaken, or Romance of the Dungeon, and our very special guest this evening, Craig from ICS, and one of the people organizing this whole campaign. And yeah, how's everybody feeling about this evening?
Terrified. Thank you for asking.
James is so terrified he's fled. He's actually fled.
Just like, no, my cat's flinging drool everywhere, guys. Just everywhere.
€10. So
no.
This evening, oh my god! If we got James to do shots of his cat's drool,
has to be illegal. No way that's legal.
We'll find out. We'll do it, and then we'll find out after the fact. As I've said, tonight is a fundraiser, and we are dangerously close to making the players of Romance of the Dungeon and Rise of the Forsaken a very, very happy bunch, because if we reach our goal this evening of €500, all the characters, all the players level up, which I am vehemently against. But I am setting aside because for two reasons. One, it's in aid of the Irish Cancer Society, so it's totally worth it. Secondly, if we do reach the €500 goal, we are releasing that rap that Fiona did for Rise of the Forsaken when we first started talking about the characters. So I'll happily give out free levels just because it'll be worth having to have that out there on the internet forever. I will be playing it at her children's 18th birthdays and their 21st birthdays.
I'm not even saying
This evening we are playing a one-page TTRPG by Grant Howitt called The Witch is Dead. And if you are not familiar with the system or Grant Howitt's work, you can find it online. And we'll put it in the comments after we finish up. But do check it out. It's an absolutely fun system and very, very easy to pick up. You don't even have to be totally experienced with running TTRPGs. It's a nice little segue into it. And it is the story of a witch that has met her end at the hands of a witch hunter. And now it is up to her familiars to resurrect her. The system only uses a single D10, and the familiars get bonuses depending on what kind of familiar they are, and they have to go about resurrecting. Before we get into our story, I think it's fitting that maybe we go around and we introduce each player and what familiar they are. So I'll go from my screen. So if we start with James.
Excellent. Two things very quickly, producer's notes. One, there's a bit of audio bleed coming through. I think it might be from Craig. Two, if there's a thing in the background that might be lowered. Two, why is his name down as Heya? Have I missed something? Is that not Craig? On the overlay.
Heya.
Were you saying Heya to someone when you did this overlay, Declan? And now his name is Heya? Because his name is Heya.
No, because when you asked Craig what his name was and what his pronouns were, he said Heya, he, him, and you took Heya as his name.
Oh, Declan.
Beautiful.
We are off to a tremendous start. Let me tell you.
I'll rectify that very quickly with the donation in Heya's name.
Perfect. Absolutely stunning.
Oh
Tremendous. Okay. This is
You're
it.
doing
This
amazing.
is how
This is
this is
great.
how we cure cancer, folks.
True
Just
laughter.
pure foolishness. Okay.
Oh god.
Character intro. That's what we're going to do.
And scene.
Okay. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. I'm going to be playing Rudy. Tonight, Rudy is a bard owl and pretty fond of the witch. She took the bones from my pellets and let me sleep in her house instead of a bard, which is great because bards, not all they're cracked up to be. They got animals, they're big, they smell. So she was pretty good, and you know, I'm doing this one for her. This is for you.
Poor
The
Nate.
gangster.
Eilish.
I am a crow. My name is Clyde. I'm not going to attempt to do a voice because God knows I'm terrible at them. So Clyde is from Dublin. Welcome.
Where's
Nobody
Dublin in
told-
this fantasy realm?
Nobody told me there would be voices. I was not prepared with a voice.
Come
I
on,
gotta
Craig,
say.
come on. You've got a few seconds.
What's Clyde look like?
You just your usual Disney crow, pretty evil, lots of angles, beady eyes. The usual.
Lots
Good
of
at
angles.
contouring.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And Fiona?
I am playing Broody, the belligerent Burmese cat. He's he's a bit of an arsehole, but he tries. Not like me. I saw the face you made, Declan. You should have. art imitating life. Broody is fond of. He used to sneak into Amaryllis's stash and have a little smoke every now and then. And that's my reason, because my kid came home from crash and infected me with COVID. So I might be coughing a bit. I escaped it so far. It finally got me. So if I'm coughing, it's because Broody likes to go on the fags a bit. So
Jesus.
Wow.
She's a method actor. This one.
Yeah.
She is. She's a something. And Craig?
Hey. Also, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I am playing Trudy, a fox, who with the, I assume do we say our spells as well as our functions? Yeah. So my main function in the household is conjure light. So it's mainly because Trudy is afraid of the dark. So hopefully that doesn't come up at all in any inopportune moments, Mr. DM. But just very book smart, you know. I know a lot of stuff, but I'm not very sly with it somehow. So you know, a lot of reading, a lot of late nights in the library, just being a reading light, sitting on Amaryllis's shoulder and absorbing knowledge. That's basically it.
Cute.
fucking nerd.
Whoa. Wow. Okay, a little bit of hostility there from Broody.
Simpsons _nerd.gif. Yeah.
Okay, so with our familiars introduced, we're going to begin this. And one of our stretch goals was that if we raised, I believe it was it €100, which we did very, very quickly last time, that I would do this in the voice of Brassica, the badger from Rise of the Forsaken. So that's going to be, I can't wait to go into class tomorrow and teach without a voice. So, on the outskirts of the village of Grassmere, oh Lord, Grassmere, he thinks he's been clever. Lost in the woods, over fox dens, behind ancient boulders, under the giant shade of an ancient wizened, I think he misspelled wizened, trees, sits a small, sleepy little cottage. It is here you were born, obviously. Here you were raised, dragged up, and here you call home. One, you share, obviously you share it, with a witch. Amaryllis. It was a quiet life. Amaryllis was a quiet witch, was a shy witch, was a kind witch. And now she's a dead witch. It happened so quickly. There was a knock late last night. It roused you from your slumber by the fire. You thought nothing of it. A villager seeking a healing spell, a young forest sprite seeking refuge for the night, a wandering soul lost in the woods on their way to the beyond place. He was none of those things. He was fast. He was brutal. He was a witch hunter, and he was kind of dashing. Now he must die, so she might live again. And it's up to you four delightful familiars. You are fierce. You are clever. You are sly. You are quick. You are in over your heads. You are her familiar. You are her only hope. Trudy, Broody, Rudy, and Clyde. The four of you find yourselves perched, set, squat, frightened, and a little unnerved as you stare at the cold, lifeless body of Amaryllis, the witch, a young woman who, in her naivety, some might say, adopted the four of you, tuck you in, gave you shelter, gave you a crust of bread. Now you have a task. Resurrect your dead landlord / beloved mother-like figure. I don't know, whatever it works for the four of you. I'm not here to judge you on your living situation. What are you doing?
Crying? Screaming?
I'm flapping frantically.
After seeing Amaryllis's dead body, Broody's doing the whole like.
Oh,
This is an ASMR stream.
She was going to get it in there somehow.
He violently pukes up his kibble from earlier upon seeing his mistress's body. And he's just trying to kind of clean himself up a little bit.
Yeah, Trudy is just, who did this? What's happening? Where are we? What is going on? I don't like any of this. What is... No.
What time of day is it, Declan?
It's like literally that morning. It's like crack of dawn.
Rudy's just gotten to bed, so he's probably chill.
Wait, you slept through the whole thing? You monster!
Probably, yeah.
So you just watched?
No,
Clyde's going to start on Rudy.
He was out doing L stuff.
What's that?
You know, flying. Mostly.
Did you bring us any food?
No.
Oh
we
my
don't
God,
eat the
food.
same things.
I forgot about breakfast. What are we going to do about breakfast? Guys, did anyone see what happened? This?
Well, I mean, what I just threw up is pretty fresh. If you want to, I don't want to use it anymore, so you can have some, Trudy.
Thanks. Anyway, moving on.
It has taurine in it. It's very important for development.
Broody, you remember the banging at the door, and you remember Amaryllis getting up. You were asleep on her lap, and you remember being quite actually annoyed that she just picked you up and dropped you on the floor, because you were comfy, you were cozy, and now you're on the floor next to Trudy and Clyde, and you like to sit above them. And as you recall the events, you remember that Amaryllis opened the door, and there was just a weird moment where she looked shocked, and then you saw a figure emerge into the hut, and there was a tussle, and Amaryllis reached for her wand but couldn't, and it fell on the floor, and you just started batting it back and forth.
I was trying to give it to her. I was trying to give it to her, but he was too quick. He was too quick. He got her. We have to get him.
Why didn't he eat her? Probably should have he left the whole thing there.
Well, it was obviously just a violent act. He just did it for the sake of it. So I say we do the same thing to him, and then we eat him.
Can I roll for smell to see
Yes, you can. You give me roll a d10, and you can add your clever.
Oh, it's a 4, so that's a 6.
Okay.
Ooh.
You the first thing that hits you is the sick. And you're like, nope. And then you wonder what the hell Brody's been eating. But glossing over that, there is a strong smell. At first, you think it might be the smell of incense that maybe Amaryllis would burn occasionally, but it's a bit more pungent. It's a bit smokier than the incense that she would burn. That had kind of a freshness to it, a kind of a herbiness to it. This smells like charred dirt and pine wood. It's not a disgusting smell, but it's a strong kind of off-putting smell, and it's very, very potent. And you have it scent, so you can track it. Yep.
Guys, you know the way Amaryllis was always just smoking weed and then dank nugs. She called it incense, but we all know.
We all knew.
We all knew.
You're not supposed to smoke incense. That's the thing. That's how we knew.
Who smells of pine and dirt and stuff?
I know. A tree.
You just can't argue with that logic.
I'm right. I'm like, what if a tree did it? Does Broody remember if it was a tree that came in the door? What did the thing look like?
Broody, you start convulsing on the ground from stupidity. You tried to look. You really wanted to take a look at what was happening, because there was a bit of a kerfuffle and it was kind of annoying you, Broody. But it was just that wand. The wand was very sneaky. It was very quick, and you were definitely trying to get it. But you just couldn't get it. And once you almost had it, but then you didn't, and then you went after the wand again, and it rolled under the couch. And then you just fell asleep under the couch.
So I remember the wand.
Yeah.
Can I just perk up and do that whole and go for the couch and try and get it, stick my little arm under and try and get it out?
Yeah, give me a roll for quick.
Ooh, 8.
Damn it, this time you get it. But it's that weird thing where it's just stuck on one claw, and you pull it out, and it's it's still stuck to your weird little one little claw.
And I try and do that thing where you try and get it off.
Yeah.
Who wants this? Who wants this? Broody?
I fly over and snatch it.
Oh, Clyde, no. Are you sure? Broody, do you
You're
know
from Dublin after all.
Really?
Immediately start shaking it, trying to cast a spell on Broody.
Okay.
What does this thing do? How do you work it?
Tell you what, anybody in chat that has a free just a free D100.
Oh god.
Give me a roll for it, and we're gonna see what happens.
Thanks. Well, maybe I'll die and I can enjoy my rap in peace and watch the rest of you fuckers not do well. Oh.
Even your rap is yellow, so on brand.
We'll just see. We'll give chat a second, and then while someone from chat is going to 41.
there we
Okay,
go.
that was very quick. I am rolling on a list called Vanilla Friendly Editions Wild Magic Surge, and on a
Vanilla-friendly.
41. Oh my god. You were trying to cast it on who?
Me, of course.
Okay. Broody, you have turned into a potted plant. While a plant, you are incapacitated to have vulnerability to all damage. If you drop to 0 hit points, your pot breaks and your form reverts.
Oh,
My form reverts. Can
Yes.
I speak as a potted plant?
No, you can't. You're now just you're not even like a proper potted plant. You're just one of those pissy bellflowers. You know, like the pissy bellflowers. You're one of those.
Can I like shake in my pot a little bit? Woo.
Yeah, it does. Like, there's just this really, yeah, magic kind of fizzes and sparks, Clyde, from the wand, and you're like, oh god, you didn't think that would actually happen, but waving it around in your talon, it's not a case of you cast out the magic, it's more that you just smack Broody with it. And instantly you all see Broody transform into this grizzled, withered-looking marigold.
Immediately
in a clay
land on
pot.
the
A
stem.
grizzled one.
I'm gonna sit on it.
No, it should be a daffodil for the Irish Cancer Society.
I
Not
don't
sturdy.
think. No. Mm.
That is not pine. I will tell you that much for free.
Guys, none of us have hands. I don't know how we're okay. Well, you can stay here with the body.
No, I think what we gotta do is we gotta drag the body somewhere high to keep it away from predators, from ground-based predators. No offense. But maybe we like get her out of here, or and then we go hunt down the thing. I don't know. It seems like with all that magic you're waving around, you could probably do something with her. Could you not like just get her going again?
Yeah. Shakes the wand again.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is wild. This is wild magic all over again.
Yeah. So again, if anybody has a D100 to hand, you can roll it for us, and we will tell you what the hell Clyde does now.
How big is an actual D100? Is it massive?
Like,
It's essentially a golf ball.
yeah, it's a golf.
Oh, look,
James, of course, James has one.
put that thing away.
Well,
The only issue with
apologise
this one is that it
profusely.
doesn't really stop once you start it rolling.
Oh,
Oh no, that's huge. And it
78.
really looks like a golf ball.
Yeah.
Oh, for the love. Oh.
I'm
Did
so
she go back to
sorry. I'm
life?
so-
Is the game
Where
over?
was this
sorry.
aiming? Was this aiming at Amaryllis?
Yes, this is actually hitting Amaryllis.
Oh my
A
God.
slightly larger potted plant. Here we go.
As this time, as you're waving the wand around, Clyde, and you're just slapping Amaryllis on like her or, like on her calf. You're just striking her. The wand actually it starts to flick, and this time little kind of pebbles flick off of it. You can just see more and more pebbles just kind of flying from it, and then all of a sudden the pebbles stop, and Rudy and Trudy, you see next to the potted plant a petrified Clyde who has turned completely to stone.
Oh, nope, that's not it.
That's
not
yeah,
it at
that's
all.
what I get.
You also, at this
sorry.
exact moment, on a bookshelf next to the kitchen that's filled with jars of preserves and oils and little sugar bowls and wonderful little ceramic little cups and teapots. There's a nestle of books, and one of them is shaking rapidly or violently in the shelf. It's trying to get free, but it's wedged between a teapot and a ceramic bread bin.
Magic for dummies.
I have actually seen a couple of books, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna go and just gestures with two angular wings, I guess. And flaps over and starts pecking at it to try and yank it out.
Okay. You peck and you flap and you kind of scratch at the book, and it falls, it tumbles out of the shelf and lands on its back. Trudy and Clyde, you both see that the book literally says baby's first spells.
Can I talk if I'm stoned?
You cannot talk, you're stoned. And not stoned, just stoned.
Can I read anything about? Is there anything about dead witches in there? Because
Actually,
I'm coming to the realization that we do not have a handle on this. It has been 5 minutes.
How did you guess
and
that?
2 of us are now.
incapacitated.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I'm
You
mentally screaming. It's just one like capital A and a big thought bubble, and it's just that repeated ad infinitum.
while Rudy is giving you finger guns, but with like the wings, just like bang. Yes, you in the way that Broody likes to sit on Amaryllis's lap in the evening to read. You, Trudy, liked to kind of cuddle up with her when she was reading a good book. And though a lot of it didn't make, it just didn't make any sense. But you're a fox after all, and you know what they say about foxes. Largely uneducated. But you flick through the book like very, very quickly. And at the back, thankfully, the last couple of pages, there's a drawing. And the drawing looks, well, it kind of looks to be in the same pose Amaryllis is. Face down and lifeless. And you see a little symbol that's a little cross next to it. And you see an angry-looking person in a hood with a crossbow and a sword and a pitchfork and an axe, like just holding lots of different weapons. It's one of those weird little Acme things where like there's just loads of extra things sticking out of them. And then equals skull with a question mark. It points then to an angel little figure and an X beside the angel, and you just see the same drawing of the same angry-looking man with all the weapons, and a skull over his face, a little cartoony skull, obviously, because this is a baby's book, and his eyes sitting in a jar, and the lady who was lying lifeless and cold on the ground is now alive and smiling.
I'm gonna have to roll to understand any of this.
Yeah.
Like
And if anybody in chat would like to donate so that we would have advantage on this roll and we don't sit here turning ourselves into potted plants, that would be lovely.
We're doing so well so far.
Also, so wait, Clyde is stone.
Clyde is stone. Broody is a potted plant. It's just you and Rudy, and you might as well just count Rudy out.
Dream team.
Rudy, are you able to? You know what? Never mind. I'm going to eat you after this is over. So you know what?
Whoa.
7
Hey.
Yes. Thank
plus 2.
You, Trudy, have deciphered the answer to a witch's immortality ? And in the event of a witch being killed by a witch hunter, in order for her to be returned to life, you must find the witch hunter and take their eyes back to the witch, and she will be resurrected. At the very, very bottom of the book, on the end of it, you just see a little hourglass and the number 7 and 4 little letters that spell out DAYS. And you've seen the same little hourglass in Amaryllis's kitchen, and she uses it to mark passage of time. So you've got 7 days, and she died last night. You've got 6.5 days.
Okay.
Hit me.
I think we're looking for this guy in particular who has a hood and a lot of weapons,
Yep.
who smells like dirt.
Yep. Great.
Maybe. Hold on. Maybe we ask him if he has any eyes, and we bring those eyes here, and Amaryllis will be happy.
But that sounds perfect. Yep. I see no flaw. We can
What if he doesn't have any eyes?
Oh, I mean, they've all got eyes. I've seen at least 2 humans, and they've both had eyes. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think I might have seen more. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
But,
Well, if they have more than 2, we'll ask if they can give 2 of them to us.
they can spare 2 eyes. Yep. Okay. Excellent. Let's should we? I could probably. I don't think I could carry. I could carry one of these guys, and kind of stares with large eyes at both our incapacitated pals.
At this point, as you, Rudy, as you point at Broody and Clyde, you just see Broody burst like back into Burmese form and just hacking up a load of petals.
And like all the fur on my back is all standing up. And I do that thing where like you're running and he's kind of like going halfway up the wall. What the fuck was that? Where the fuck is Clyde? Where the fuck is Clyde?
There.
Right
there.
On the floor.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to Clyde and I'm gonna pop a squat and I'm gonna do a little when tomcats do that horrible spray.
Oh my! Seriously?
Yeah, I'm gonna spray on Clyde. And my tail's going. That thing. No, don't fucking do that again.
At that exact moment, through the miracle of tomcat spray,
it's
Clyde.
the antidote.
Yes, the stone melts from the acidity, and you are back to bird form, but reeking of tomcat spray.
Immediately shake out all my feathers all over the other 2.
I'm gonna hook a claw right up to Clyde's face and don't fucking do that again.
And Clyde's just gonna start get up in her face.
Can I take the wand away? Can I remove and hide the wand?
Yes, you can take
That's
the wand.
how a crow gets up in my face.
Basically.
Like a turkey.
They're all neck.
The neck.
Okay. Broody and Clyde have returned, much to my horror. Rudy has the wand. Trudy has figured out what to do. What are you all doing?
Did myself and Clyde hear?
We're going to say that in the interim of washing off the stank, you've all been caught up on the wherewithal of it all. That Amaryllis has, well, she's there and she's not moving, and Trudy has figured out that in order for her to be returned, you need 2 eyes, and that'll make her happy and alive again.
Can Broody go over and have a go at the picture of the man, and see if there's anything else kind of apparent about him? So you said there was all weapons around him, but is there anything else that stands out?
You saunter over to the book, and the picture in the book. He had weapons, but he wasn't big and strong like that. He was kind of like a little, kind of like a scrawny little nerd.
Like this.
Yeah, he was a wiry thing that came in. but he did have loads of weapons. Like he did have loads of those things on him. So one of them, whatever that is, did the thing that Amaryllis is doing currently to her, and you now need to get 2 eyes from him.
State of this guy. How did he get Amaryllis?
Looks like with like a knife.
She was
Probably.
strangled.
Definitely a knife. I've seen this before.
And what, we just go and ask him for eyes?
Yeah.
Is the door open? Did he leave
Yes.
the door open?
Yeah.
Clyde's gonna fly out and see if he can see any like tracks.
Okay. You can roll a d10 and add a. We will
Look at her
say
face.
Clever.
5.
You do not see tracks from the air. You are. Yeah, it's quite difficult.
I don't know where he went. How are we gonna find him?
Absolute amateur. If you want to find a human, you have to think like a human.
Oh,
So the first
educate us
thing
then,
you do-
Rudy.
Let me walk you through it. And Rudy is going to perform.
First, take the wand.
Is going to
Has
make
pockets.
an elaborate show of like flying into the house, be like, "I'm a big dumb human. I'm a killer, and I'm not even gonna eat her." Stab, stab, stab. Couple stabs. Now I'm gonna go back to where I live, which smells like pine and dirt. So it's probably near a tree, at least one, and the ground. So not on a cliff or anything.
Well, he is really tall and skinny. Are we sure he is not, in fact, a tree?
Trees don't stab people.
Are you sure? You've never been out in the forest? These spiky things? You're shit at flying. You've definitely flown into a branch before, you dope.
Amaryllis is glad she's dead for this.
Eyes under a wing in shame.
Can Rudy actually try and use some deductive reasoning to assess where
No.
a human might go after killing another human, or
You can,
what
and
this human might be or do?
Yes, you may make assumptions about humanity. Go for it.
Tremendous. What am I adding?
Clever.
6.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Average.
Okay.
Average.
You're not doing anything dangerous so far. This is nothing dangerous.
So far.
You do come up with some horrible stereotypes about humans that a lot of people would question Rudy and his prejudices. But you're aware, Rudy, because you remember that there were some nice people that used to come and visit you and not stab Amaryllis. There were some nice people that used to come, and you and Trudy and Broody and Clyde, you're kind of like the untrusting. You're a little bit suspicious of people. People are shite. But you followed them a couple of times just to check them out and see what they were all about. And there is actually a village. There is a place where there's lots of these peoples that gather. And they seemed to do a lot of different things. There were people lying down in the dirt, a little bit like Amaryllis. There were people, drinking things out of things, and people partaking in some sort of ritual involving money and, owning things and exchanging things for money and labor. And, it's a grand old scheme, and it definitely looks like it's paying off. In fact, you're thinking of venturing into capitalism yourself. But it's about half a day's travel from Amaryllis's cottage. If a human came and did this, well, a human probably went back there.
Okay.
If there are lots of people, then there are lots of eyes.
Does it have to be the tree's eyes, or can it be anybody's eyes?
Trees don't have eyes.
Shut up, you.
You're getting way off track here, guys. Hang on. And Rudy considers becoming the Duolingo L for a little while. And then like shoves that aside, like does a whole Sherlock mind palace thing in his head. He's like, yeah, okay. There's this place they all go. It's got the biggest mice. It's got the biggest ass mice you've ever seen in your gosh dang lives.
Oh, fuck
That's
yeah,
an ass
go
mouse.
on.
So we're gonna go, right? We're gonna get some lunch. But it's not gonna be lunch because it takes a while. But we're gonna go there. We're gonna get some lunch. We're gonna get some eyes, and I don't know, maybe figure out a banking system or something.
We can't leave Amaryllis here.
Yeah, we can.
It's not
Why
like she's
can't
gonna
we?
die.
But what if something gets her?
Something already got her.
What if
She
something
can't get more got.
gets her more, and there's nothing left when we bring back the eyes?
We'll just close the door. No one will come in.
Actually, that's going to be a tough one. I don't know how we're going to close that door or open. I don't know how doors. I can't door.
You
You
just
can't
pull
door.
this thing.
Yeah, go
We
for
should-
We'll
it.
all
Go
push
for it,
together.
big guy.
Fine. Can Broody attempt to, like, is there a blanket or like a tablecloth or something that he can try to pull down on top of Amaryllis's body?
Jesus Christ.
I don't want to leave her open.
A set table.
Pull down the entire dining set on top of her.
We should definitely bury her to ensure that she stays safe.
And fresh.
Yes.
Okay. There is on her little settee like a throw that she knitted.
Oh yeah,
So-
Broody likes needing that, and she used to give out to Broody for needing it. So he's gonna, because she's not alive right now, he's gonna take the opportunity to dig his claws right in and reef it down on top of her.
You do that. You reef it down, and there's now just a quilt
On her,
half on top of her.
and I'm gonna do that thing where, you know, like when a cat tidies up after they've gone to the litter, and I kind of like dig at it and just tidy it around her body a little bit. No, she'll be fine.
I just dropped a message into chat there at this point. Every €10 donation from this point onwards, the wand goes off for some wild magic printing.
Who has the wand at the moment?
Rudy.
Trudy.
Rudy has
Rudy.
the owl right. Rudy the owl has it right now. So €10 donation, the wand goes off at any point. And remember, it's all for a good cause, and it's also to make me feel better about what they're currently doing to this thing that I wrote, and I'm doing. With Amaryllis suitably covered, or barely, depending on who you ask. Are the four of you setting off for the village?
Yeah.
Wait. Should we take some clothes? Humans
I did
love
it.
clothes. Humans go nuts for clothes. We could trade them for some eyes. Oh my god! Why'd you do the wand
Hey.
thing?
They love the yellow shiny rocks as well.
Oh,
The
yeah, the
little
shiny
glue
things.
around.
You like
Little
them
shiny
too, Clyde,
rocks.
you Egypt, don't you? Shiny stuff. Clyde's not
Did you-
listening.
Yeah, Clyde is currently just putting money into the charity to roll the wand.
Yeah, is
At
there any shiny
stage-
rocks?
At any stage that you want, Eilish, you roll a D100 and I'll tell you what happens.
Okay.
But yeah, do you want some shiny rocks?
Look, he's in the chat.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Grant. I'm so sorry. We're
we're ruining it. We're ruining it.
We're
ruining
improving
it.
it. We're improving it.
no.
Your system is
boy.
wonderful. I'm so sorry what we're doing to us. I'm so sorry.
Oh boy. Thanks everybody. That's yep.
Anyway, shiny yellow hard rock.
That's what we're looking for.
Shiny. No, we get some of that. We got some clothes. I've got like taxes. I'm thinking taxes, but I don't really know what that is or means or does. But I think it's probably where we gotta be, guys. I'm telling you.
Okay. Let's go find some shiny gold rocks.
Let's roll.
You're
Start
back.
staring the
Notice
place
my
apart.
hair and
You're now just looking through the witch who lives in the woods house for gold.
Fleecing her.
Fleece.
Anything we can barter
okay.
with.
Okay, well, why don't the four of you roll d10s and add your sly to it? But for the fact that Amaryllis is dead, this was not dangerous.
11.
8.
Okay.
9 + 1, so 10.
Okay.
I win.
Come on, James. That's
6.
your shitty roll.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Clyde and Trudy. You're not dumb. So,
Yay.
Clyde, you go straight for Amaryllis's purse. And Trudy, you go straight for her bedside locker. And the two of you just start rummaging around in it. And you're not quite sure if it's... I mean, it's shiny, and it looks expensive. But Trudy, you have found 8 silver pieces.
Ooh.
And Clyde, you have found... Oh, you have found 4 gold pieces and 2 pearls.
Ooh.
Rudy, you have found Amaryllis's dead body under a quilt.
Don't fucking touch the quilt, Rudy!
Guys, something terrible has happened. Get in here.
No.
And Broody, you've actually found all those things that you hid, that you stole, and you forgot that you did it, and then you just hide them again.
Real quick. I'm done with the other scene.
Okay.
Can I find I remember Amaryllis she went to like one of the markets before and went to one of those crafty trade stalls and got suckered into paying big money for a shitty little pouch your one said was handmade. It's definitely not handmade. Can I try and find that shitty pouch?
In Dublin on the inside of it, yeah. Mass produced in Dublin, yeah.
Slave labored in Dublin. Can I go and find her crappy pouch so we can put our finds into it?
You can. It's actually like that cheap felt material. And yeah, it's got a little shamrock on the outside of it. Yeah. You found the pouch. It's literally it's just covered in hair, cat hair.
Wonder how that got there.
Go on, in here, and go on, Trudy. You carry it. You're the biggest.
Okay. You're not getting this. This is mine.
It's for all of us. We can buy eyes with it.
Or we could just take the eyes and buy other stuff.
Okay, yeah, good idea. Put it in the pouch. How are you going to carry it? No, actually, carry it in your beak, and that means you can't talk. So, yeah, good idea.
Immediately drops it in the bag.
Same goes for... I'm going to mispronounce the name. Faux. For their 12 euro donation there as well. So whenever you see fit, let me know what you roll on your D100, and we'll have it go off again for the sake.
Who has the wand? Rudy.
Rudy has the wand. Love how, by the way, the whole point of this is to resurrect the witch, and instead what we've done is robbed her, cast her magic wand wildly around her house, said some horrible things about human society, and
now
that last donation is the infamous Graham that fucked Nora over in the last stream.
Oh,
so we all know that he wants it to hit me. So I hope it doesn't, Graham. And thank you for your donation.
Great. Okay. As the four of you set off with the pouch suitably, not really sure who's carrying it at this point, but as you are flying and kind of half leading the way, Rudy, towards the human village, and everybody else is kind of in tow towards it, the rest of you can't help but notice that as Rudy's flying, and on a 50 on this table, for the next minute you regain 5 hit points at the start of each of your turn. I'm going to interpret that as you all just see Rudy get a little bit more swole. Like he just gets full on, like he just buffs out a little bit. He's looking quite muscular.
Heck yeah.
What are you eating up there? Why are you getting so fat?
I'm on the creatine, guys.
Dear.
I will give you that will give you advantage on any again. Oh boy, it's just upsetting.
Like a fierce check or something.
What you yes on being fierce because you were a swole owl. Oh boy,
Swell.
Oh,
wow, you're a
You
swell.
just got there before me.
Oh boy, wow.
I feel really angry and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you
Okay,
sound it.
Yeah.
I'm
Ooh.
terrified.
Half
Good.
I'm just I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask any of you if there's anything you want to do as you head. I'm just
for the
forbidding
best.
it. I'm just forbidding it. It took 51 minutes roughly to get out of the house. So you
We're just having so much fun with the character.
I need to be resurrected.
Shut up, you'll get
Is
your
it just
eyes.
because there's no NPC here for you to play? Is that it? Is that the issue?
We could find a forest friend.
We
No.
could have taken a lot longer. Let me just say, like this is
Let's go back. Let's go back.
the games I've played.
my wallet.
This is speedy as all hell.
Oh
I
wait,
need
wait,
to
wait.
pee, Mom. I need to pee.
Who's that in the bushes? Brett?
Brassica?
Check for traps. Check for traps. Check for traps. Check for traps.
You approach Grasmere. It's late at night, and you can hear quite a bit of noise and really annoying sounds, like just really annoying, like high pitched, whiny sounds coming from the center of the village. As you reach the edge line of the woods, you start to see all these little roofs, thatched little roofs dotting around, kind of hidden behind this tall wooden barricade that seems to encircle the village, and you can see plumes of smoke coming out of some of the roofs and these tall little chimney stacks. It's quite pungent around here. It smells quite a lot like all these other peoples that you've noticed. And as you arrive, Trudy, you remember the last time you came to Grasmere Village. You followed a woman. She was a miner, a rather tough, broad lady who lives on the other side.
Is that M-I-N-E-R or M-I-N-O-R?
M-I-N-E-R. Miner as in mines in the mines. You weren't following a miner.
Very important distinction.
Yes. No, that's, yeah, thank you.
Trudy's on a list.
Is this why I don't fly with Owl?
She had visited Marillis several times over the last couple of months, and she seemed kind of a bit tough and a bit hardened by life, but she'd all her last couple of months working in the mines, her rheumatoid arthritis just was flaring up in the cold and in the damp and in the dank. So she had come to Amaris for some healing salve, and some CBD oil to help her sleep at night. Look, you all started it. I'm leading into it. Okay. So yeah,
it's not a witch. It's just a dispensary.
The rug that we left on top of her was like the red, green, black, and orange of like Rasta.
Oh gosh. Okay.
But she lives on the other side. You remember you followed through, and there's a hole in the fence that you can get to, and it's a quick dart right across the village to her house. And she seemed like a nice lady. Broody and Clyde, the last time you came here, well, it was because that weird little dwarf fighter, Govelham, came to Amaryllis's cabin completely and totally smashed. And he was banging on the door to be let in. And he started singing a really awful song about how much he loves Amaryllis and that they should be wed. It was. I'm not going to sing it.
Okay, I'll donate €20 if you sing it.
Oh God, no! It would have to be closer to like let's say 50 quid for me to actually do that. So
Chat, get going. Go. Put the link in the
You heard
chat.
And I'm not. It was basically his version of like "Kiss Me" by Sixpence None the Richer. But it was 6 copper, and I'm still really poor. And the song was called "Shift Me." So yeah,
Shift me.
Needless to say, his affections were politely, rejected by Amaryllis, who gave him a little bit of herbal tea to make him pass out.
She drugged him
and left him in the woods.
She left him in the woods.
So he killed her.
Clyde and Broody, you went to basically go have a laugh at your man. And he lives outside the village in a hut a couple of miles away. But he woke up the following morning, and the two of you were just basically sitting, breaking your holes, laughing at him. And he was wondering why there was a cat and a crow, just like literally just laughing away. But he went home basically crying the whole way and crying out for his love for Amaryllis. Yeah, you were well scarlet for him.
Does he look drunk now?
Well, you don't see him. You just
we don't see him.
That's
sorry,
what you
we know
remember.
that he's here.
Okay, that's what you remember.
I have a mechanics question.
Yeah.
Is our spell?
Oh. Eilish, we've lost you.
Oh my God, she cast a spell, and now she's gone.
I have a mechanics question. Watch me go. Go on.
Is our spells one and done, or have we multi-use?
No, but when you cast the spell, it's always dangerous. So,
danger.
High voltage. Okay. Did I mention we're also a musical stream?
But only if you
So
don't.
talented.
That's a strong word to use.
Just add it to the tags below. It's fine.
Murder's music. Got it.
Bros, let's get in there, bros. Bros. Let's get in
You're
there.
not allowed to take any more creatine.
Eyes.
I gotta peck out so many eyes.
What color? What was Amaryllis's favorite color? Do we know what her favorite color was?
Can't see him. Doesn't
Yellow.
matter.
It was yellow.
Yellow eyes. There's got to be yellow eyes around here.
Yes, Broody has yellow eyes.
Get her.
Oh my God! Why didn't we think of that?
Oh, it makes so much sense now.
Let's go back to the hut. This is over. You can hear as Broody was chanting eyes, and what the rest of humanity hears in the village, you just hear shut that goddamn cat up. Yes, it just sounds like a really horny tomcat outside.
That tracks.
Or no, but they do that whole like
Jesus
That's the same
Christ.
sound I make, so it's fine.
when you're a horny Declan, is that the noise you make?
It is, yeah. I caterwaller.
I'm done. I'm tapping out. Bye.
But anyway, cutting through the sound of Broody's chant, you actually start to hear rhythmic chanting coming from the village itself. It was a lot of music and a lot of sound, like a lot of clattering and banging and stuff like that, and then that's all stopped, and now there's just kind of the same like but it's humans, so you don't really know what they're saying, but it's just constantly.
What's that noise?
I thought it was you.
Can someone fly up and swole bro?
I'm gonna go so high, you have no idea how high. Watch how high I can go.
He like leaves like a shape in the dirt below him.
Yes, it's him because he forgot how to fly.
Gonna do a little fly. Gonna do an extreme flyby. Gonna do like a jet fighter demonstration flyby of the village, and just
Really
go
still have
out
the
and see
wand?
where they are. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah,
Yes.
dog.
Okay,
He
so if
does.
someone donates right now, Rudy might do something really awful over the village with the wand. If anyone wants to give a tenner.
As this is, as we're waiting for that to unfold, and I'll retcon it if I have to. Rudy, you see, it's very strange. There's a lot of the people, and in the crowd, there's like a lot of them all kind of gathered in the middle of this place, and you see about like 30 or 40 of them, and they're all kind of like just kind of like clapping their hands and then lifting them up, and then making kind of a weird circle, and a couple of times you think they see you, but they're not even looking at you, they're just looking up into the dark, and at the front, kind of facing the crowd, you see two people that kind of stand out to you. One is this. At first, you weren't sure what you were looking at because it was very shiny, and then you just realized it's a bald guy. It's just a human without any hair, and his head has just happened to be very shiny. And he's standing there in all black robes, and his hands are up over his head, and he's made a big kind of like circle with his hands. And next to him, you see what looked like the man from the book, but he's just very gross. Like he's just very like, ooh. He's thin and like gaunt looking, and he's making kind of a little round with his hands as well. And he's holding it up to the sky, and they're all kind of looking through it. Then
Not a goddamn soul in here paid any attention to my sick moves. Juliet has donated a tenner.
oh boy,
I still have
okay.
one in reserve as well.
Oh well.
I'm not using it yet.
Do you want, Juliet? Do you want to roll? Do you want to roll that? Do you want to roll James's D100?
She's gonna have to come in here to get the D100, so we might get a cameo.
Oh,
Yay!
cameo!
Kill your husband. Kill your husband.
He's here
More
for
like-
nonsense.
More likely, the husband is going to kill everyone else.
First one is the 10, second one is the digit.
Oh.
69.
It's a 16, but did we already have a 16? No, we had a
No,
15.
we
did not.
15.
Okay.
Oh my
Thank you,
god!
Juliet.
Thank you, Juliet. Because as you Swole the Owl, as you come back around, you're like, oh, nobody saw my sick moves. Somebody saw your sick moves, because Rudy the Owl, you see that through just the sheer inspiration that your sculpted physique is, Trudy, Broody, and Clyde are all now swole too. It's the same thing as a 15, it just affects your allies.
My bros!
Why isn't mine doing that?
What did
My abs, my dudes!
I think the funniest one is a swole fox. No, actually, a swole crow is very funny.
Yeah, immediately goes for a chest bump. Mid-air
Rudy,
chest
you're
bump.
that kind of swole where you're still fat, but you're really muscular about it.
I still have that punch.
You have the punch, yeah.
Yeah, I have the punch.
We all now have to talk in like bra beach terms. Yeah. Bra, do you see that, bra?
Oh my god, bruh.
Bra.
They did not care for what was frankly one of the best performances of my adult life. But they are all they're kind of all the same. They've all lumped together, which, you know, upshot, more eyes, downside, probably harder to get the eyes. but there's a guy there. He looks kind of like the guy in the book, but like nasty though. He's like a nasty boy.
How does what?
He's a nasty boy. He looks.
What are
he
you
looks
talking
gross.
about, bro?
He looks gross, nasty boy.
Explain
But he
like
looks
I'm
like the guy in the
five,
book.
bro.
He looks like the guy in the book with the
Was he a
the-
tree?
the weapons and.
Does he have
He's
yellow
not
eyes?
a tree.
Yeah, are his eyes yellow?
I didn't look, bro.
For fuck's sake. Fuck's sake,
Bro,
Rudy.
we should check and see if he has yellow eyes.
Yeah.
We need to, bro. We
For
should
sure.
totally get in there.
Totally, bro.
All right,
Let's
Bro,
do it.
Bro, you look good.
all right.
You look good, bro. Bro, you working out, bro?
Oh my god. So I've
You
been
look
flying
good.
so hard.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
As-
You know
as-
that like it was a half a day to get to the village, and this is I've never felt fitter in my entire goddamn life.
While the four familiars check each other out and make their way into the village, we are going to take a quick 10-minute break to grab a drink.
Oh my god.
I'm going to, reevaluate my life. And
Apologise
hopefully,
to Grant
chat,
Howitt.
we have
Profusely.
chat, this is the perfect opportunity for us to go away for a couple of minutes and come back and find that we've reached our €500 goal and you've all donated €10 and absolute calamity unfolds as the one just goes 90 when we come back. So we're going to be back in 10 minutes, around 9:15. Thank you so much for joining us so far and so close to that €500 goal. We are.
Ew.
Come on, level up.
My math is terrible. €88 away from our
Aw,
€500
yeah.
goal. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah, see you, babies.
True, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, and we are back.
We're back.
Hello.
And
We might have been back for a
Shenanigans.
little while. I wasn't really paying attention to the screen, so who knows what they saw.
Turns out we just never went offline.
we never went. Yeah, we never. Yeah. Fair enough. I really wouldn't. Oh wow. Wow. We've just gotten to the village. We are now we're 4 super buff, fit familiars. I've been dropping hints. I've actually just railroaded at this point. And we're just focusing on our glutes, our jank witch dispensary incense.
So important.
And we have a wand that now is apparently it's preloaded with 4 wand bullets of chaos. And yes, okay. The 4 of you, with Trudy pointing the way to the hole in the wall, the 4 of you follow as quietly and as muscularly as you possibly can. And you each kind of duck and nudge and you have to it's actually a little bit more difficult to get through now because the 4 of you are so buff. Ripped, literally ripped. There's just this owl with a 6-pack just strutting up to a hole in a wall. Nope. That's a different thing now. I'm stopping. And I stopped. So that's important, okay? You make it through.
Have Fiona choking on her cornetto.
You fucking killed me.
You make it through the hole in the wall. And what are the 4 of you doing?
I say we go straight for that guy, straight for the main dude, brah.
Right for the main dude.
Quickest way.
Yeah.
Quickest way.
There are a lot of other
Straight
humans
line.
there. There are a lot of other. I have no real concept of a numerical system, but there are a whole bunch of humans there.
And that means there's double the amount of eyes.
Again, double is not something I really get, but there's a lot. There's a lot of we are hench, you guys. We are just absolutely beefed up. We are all very beef.
Eyes.
But again, maybe a little bit of discretion in approaching all of these humans, because they're all looking right at this one guy whose eyes we want. They're all they're all right there at him. So
if
or
we
just go for it, I'm here for it. I'm here for you.
What if we can gang up on the one guy with the eyes?
What if
Then
we all go one on top of each other and find a coat, and then we can be a person too.
does anyone
told
know
you we
what a
need
trench
clothes.
coat is?
I told you we need clothes.
Hold on. Rudy's gonna go up on his arse and do that thing where they have their little paws up, and he's gonna have a little stinky stink because he remembered Trudy mentioning the smell of pine and dirt. Can I smell that?
Yes, you can. And it's actually wafting around the village a little bit, like a little cloud of it, so it's pretty potent, but it's coming from the center of the village. It's coming from the square.
There, that smell. Let's just go and we'll figure it out as we go, because that always works out, doesn't it?
Are all these people? They're not looking at anything else. They're totally distracted.
They're all they all have their hands above their heads, and they're all looking up through a little like that. They're all just doing that.
Is there anything that they're looking at?
They appear to be looking up at the stars. If you want to give me a roll for clever, Trudy, just to see if you can figure out what they're saying.
8 plus 2. 10.
Okay.
Ooh.
Just eavesdropping in on the whole thing. You're all kind of fixated on them because they look really stupid. Okay, thank you, Grant.
Nearly
Okay.
there. We were safe. We were home free.
Remember who was holding the wand?
Okay.
Rudy.
So you're leaning in, Trudy, just to kind of like try and figure out what they're doing, because they do seem distracted, but they're all saying the same thing over and over again, and it's that weird little kind of like earworm type thing. You make it out as they're just chanting, "Oh, big eye in the sky, oh, holy wandering eye, I'm good, but I'm not sure about the other guy." And they keep chanting it over and over and over again. And
Guys,
yeah,
they really like eyes as well. It's weird. Why is everyone so fixated on eyes today?
Do you think maybe there's a shop that sells eyes?
Why would they all be looking up there then?
Maybe they're waiting for us to just take their eyes. Maybe it's like, hey, here you go.
Maybe
Will I
that
ask
like
one?
you dive bomb through the hole to the
Yeah.
eye.
I'm gonna ask one.
How are you gonna do that? How are you going
watch.
to do that?
It's real easy. Look, I'm
Terrible
gonna
idea.
fly over, land on the shoulder of the nearest human, and go, "What are you doing?" and cast Speak Human.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, no,
So-
that makes more sense.
okay. So, okay. You're getting a point of danger.
Yeah.
Actually, you're getting 2 points of danger at this point because you're casting your spell and you're approaching the humans. Which human are you landing? Are you just landing on like a random person in the crowd?
Yeah.
Okay. You land on. You flap over and you land as you're flying over. Rudy the Owl, you're a little bit like perplexed, and reflexively the tension in your muscles just like flexes, and the wand just goes right off, and it shoots out a whiz of sparks and it smacks Clyde, and nothing seems to happen. Like Clyde looks fine. Clyde looks perfectly
That's
perfectly
dangerous.
normal. But then there's like this weird, like if you tilt your head slightly, like just off a little bit, Clyde looks kind of out of shape. Like he looks like a little bit like an optical illusion that if you don't look at him dead on or the right way, you don't really see him properly. And he lands on this rather stout, equally as sturdy old woman. And you say, "What, Clyde?"
What are you doing? Or what are you looking at?
The wandering eye.
The what?
How can you be here? And she looks over and she's looking around, and every time she goes to look, she can kind of half see you. What's that? And she's now doing that weird thing that dogs do when they're trying to get their tails, and she's just kind of turning around to look at you the proper way, and she's just kind of spinning in a circle. "Oh my, I've been visited!" And she drops to her knees. "He's chosen me!" And she's now, her hands are up over her head. "The wandering eye has sent me an optical illusion that I'm desperately trying to see." And everybody is now fixated on Clyde and trying to see the illusion on the old lady's shoulder.
Immediately.
And for the record, the 90 Grant was you turn an object into an illusion. It's harder to see, it's harder to touch and feel, but for the next minute, Clyde, you are an illusion of yourself.
What's his deal? What's his deal?
Clyde,
That's
get
just the eyes.
Get
This is
the
the eyes going huge.
the bald man, excuse me, no. The wandering
That's the
eye
guy.
wouldn't choose
That's the guy.
somebody as low as you. No, clearly, that's a false vision. Because I'm the only one here that gets visions, and we've all discussed this. We had the big town hall meeting about it.
Ask her if she'll give you her eyes.
And I'm just.
Can I have your eyes?
Why? No, he
They're so
wants
pretty.
my eyes, everyone. And a few people are like, "Oh God, damn! I wish I could give my eyes."
Immediately fly over to them. Can I have your eyes?
Okay. Give me. When you're casting the spell again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
Again, add another point of danger.
No, it's only if you fail, Adam, right?
But she's using she's casting, isn't she not? Have I got that wrong?
I thought it was only if you fail it.
No, that's if it's just she gains a point of danger.
Oh God. Oh, good
Yeah.
luck.
What did she get?
A 9.
Okay. You fly over and you land on the shoulder of a fairly he's kind of he sees you spot on because he's bespectacled and it's easier for him to see you because he's got good vision. A fine kind of strapping half orc. Kind of he's also kind of he's quite fit, quite toned. You give with your little talons, you give his muscles a bit of a squeeze. He's not as fit as you, but he's getting he sees you spot on, but he has pale blue eyes. And he's just like, "Oh, I'd give you my eyes, but and he's like, just they don't come out."
Yeah, but Clyde's a crow, right?
But I don't want that to happen either, because that's gross. He says to nobody.
Nah. His eyes aren't yellow. Do they have
I
to
don't
be
know.
yellow?
I don't know. Did the book say anything about them being yellow?
You said they have to be yellow.
Do any of us have color vision? Did any of us notice that if they were colored in yellow in the book?
No.
Or do we all see in shades of grey?
Yeah, just various shades of grey.
Oh. Are these yellow?
Are your eyes piss yellow?
Maybe ask, did you go to the hut yesterday? The witch?
Great question, bro. That's using those mind muscles.
I should. Brah. Healthy body, healthy mind, brah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Do a mental workout as well.
Rudy's getting a bit pissed off with this, so he's gonna just slink off. And I assume they're in a town square. Did you say?
Yes, the village had gathered for what looks to be like a ceremony or a mass gathering.
Clyde's taking too long to get the eyes, so Brody's like, right, I'm gonna fucking do this myself. Fuck off. So he's just gonna slink around towards the man that Rudy indicated, and kind of see if he can slink through the crowd a little bit and get closer to this man.
Okay, give me a sly roll, and you can add a point of danger as well, please, to your checklist because you're doing something dangerous.
That's the 9.
Okay, that's good. That's very good.
A lot of probabilities is going to fuck us in a few rolls.
But doesn't it make for a wonderful stream?
Broody, you do that thing where cats are like, notice me. No, don't notice me. I don't want you to notice me.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
They got to put their hand out to rub me, and I do that thing where
yeah, perfectly. And it's that point when it's a cat, you don't bother cats, and most people are now just not bothering you as you slink your way through. You slip through the crowd with relative ease, and also they're all still trying to look for this optical illusion bird. And they're also wondering, is there a way to and a few of them are actually patting themselves on the back of the head, just trying to knock their eyes out. It's just, again, much like foxes, this villages are largely uneducated and are not aware of how eyes work. you, yes, much like Eilish Fox, you slink through and you make your way up kind of to the front, and there's like a weird table or slab of stone up here, and there's a weird bald guy wearing black robes, and he seems to be shouting out, "Here's Robert, Robert, Robert," and he's kind of pointing upwards to the sky, and he's like, "Robert, Robert," and he's just doing this. And sitting next to him, they're kind of like still making the thing up, and he's like, you just see him kind of pointing at his crossbow, and he's pointing at Clyde, and he's like pointing at the crossbow, and he's pointing at Clyde.
Another guy is pointing at his crossbow.
The guy that you're looking for, the guy with all the weapons that Rudy was telling you about. He's
pointing over at Clyde.
Yeah, he's pointing at like a big thing on his hip, and then he's pointing at.
And he's yakking, yum 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 yum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bald guy is like.
Okay. I know I give out about Clyde, but Broody really likes Clyde.
Sorry, just to cut across, we didn't just reach. God damn it! You've all leveled up. We reached €500. We've actually reached €522. So we've actually broken our goal. That's
Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. And the stream is still going, and there's loads of other streamers still doing this. So
that's amazing.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Crom. That is savage.
And don't forget Ben, who donated in between our last stream and this one.
Yes, yeah. So thanks so much,
everyone.
That's you're all wonderful.
That's amazing.
And we've still got to go before we figure out what the hell these familiars are doing. And will they keep their gains? Because you know, fitness is not just a one-time thing; it's a lifetime. Anyway, you were saying.
I was saying that Broody does love Clyde secretly. He will never tell him to his face, but he loves him really. And seeing this man kind of gesturing with his crossbow at Clyde and knowing that he's possibly the man who killed Amaryllis. It's freaking Broody. Broody is my name.
Brody's a way more bro-ish name. It has it right
now.
You
turn to Brody when you're swell.
I'm not cool enough for that name. And so Brody's kind of thinking, right, there is a lot of people here, and we can't take this man with everyone else here. So he's going to attempt to try and get this guy to fuck off. So Amaryllis taught him a really shitty spell, but it's all he got. He's got the tidy, clean, and mend spell, and all he can see is this asshole. Blah, 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 blah. He's going to try and conjure thread and stitch this man's mouth closed and mend it, and hopefully it will freak him out enough that he will run away, and we can get him on his own.
I mean, it kind of worked on me. So
I just need this guy to shut up. I just need him to shut up.
Okay. Right. Add a point of danger. And okay. So you are thanks. Grant Grant is actually allowing it. So damn it. For a second I thought Grant was on my side. So,
I'm mending his foul mouth.
Okay. So soap appears in it, and
oh no, I want it stitched closed. I want some horror shit.
Okay. Yes, this happens. So you're sitting there, Broody, just in that weird thing where cats get like you've kind of like tucked your paws kind of in under yourself, and you're sitting there kind of like a turkey or a chicken would, and you're like just like staring at him, and you see him looking at Clyde, and you're like, and you're looking at the crossbow, and you're like, you're looking at Clyde, and you're looking at the crossbow, and you're like, God damn it, I'm gonna kill Clyde, so he can't kill Clyde first. So you focus, and you just see one of your whiskers just pop out, and it just kind of whizzes through the air, and it's a whisker, so nobody kind of pays any attention to it, and it lands on the man's mustache. Like, it just lands there, and he's just everything about him. He's like a you know when you were a kid and you had a pencil, it was like, maybe I'm just revealing something about myself here, and you used to just gnaw on the pencil and you make little dents in it. Yeah. Everyone did that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just me.
I would just say yeah. That's why Declan's got lead poisoning, guys. Okay.
I
We
didn't
should all
eat-
just have stayed silent and just been like, no.
he's the human form of that pencil that's been slightly chewed. Like he's just a thin, pencily, bumpy, gross kind of thing. But he's been kind of sitting there, and you see that now that you've been kind of fixing on him for a little while, Broody, he has around his neck a string. And you're like, oh, a string, I'm gonna hit that. But there's a jangly thing at the end of it, and it's an eye. And the bald man has one of the same things, but his is bigger. And
Like a human eye, or
no, it's like just
a
a symbol.
symbol.
It's like a little like that. He's got just a big old eyeball hanging off in there. Yeah. But as the whisker lands on his mustache, it just zips straight down his upper lip and down into his bottom and up and back and up and back. And what actually happens is the whisker takes all the facial hair in his mustache and his little tiny pencil beard, and he just starts to yank it up. So it's not so much that you've stitched his lips shut, it's just that you've actually taken all his facial hair and you've knotted it together. So now every time he goes to open his mouth, it's just really painful. He's like, oh, ugh, and like the boy is looking at him and he's like, what? And the man is just, and he just shows his mouth, and you just see that you've actually braided his chin beard and his mustache together, and it's very neat and tidy. Like it looks lovely, but it's very uncomfortable. Like it's painful, it's awful. I just couldn't do the lip thing. That's just freaks me out.
Fair and
That is
reasonable.
the most wholesome interpretation of that action.
That's for the children. That's for Fiona's children that are watching.
Absolutely should not be children.
my
here.
1-year-old is on his laptop, totally
What's Manny
invested.
doing?
What's that mean?
We got another wand roll in there.
If there are children watching, don't.
Please
Don't
stop.
what? Don't.
Emily rolled a 44 but won't post in chat, so I'm her spokesperson. Okay, thank you, Emily. We will get to the wand going off in a moment. With that, he's trying to unknot it, or he's just kind of panicking a little bit, and you see him, Broody. He gets up and he knocks his chair back, and when he does, kind of as he stands up, next to the altar, there's two tall braziers burning, and this is where that stench of smoke and pine and kind of charred earth is coming from. You see his eyes flash, and they're the shade of grey that might be yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, you do that thing that Angela Lansbury does, and she murders her. It's like, meanwhile, Clyde the Crow, Broody, well, you're doing what you're doing, and Trudy and Rudy, what are ye doing?
I'm bored of the humans now, so I'm gonna fly back over to Clyde and be like, bro.
Okay, give me a sly roll, please,
Oh.
because your illusion spell is wearing off.
How many points of danger do you have now, Eilish?
3.
Oh, you're winning, bitch.
That's not how the danger works.
7.
Okay. It's more a case of, oh, he's gone. Oh, we're not worthy. Oh, wandering eye in the sky. And they're now just kind of like doing stuff, and they're still trying to see the eye. It's that weird thing, and they're all back up kind of praying. And the guy at the top of the altar is like, oh, for the love. Yes, the big eye in the sky. Yes, he's looking at me, and he's telling me that you're all idiots. And they're all back praying while the weird guy with the bound mustache, beard, chin thing runs off. And Clyde, you duck back to where Rudy and Trudy were watching.
Broody, here's the thing, right? We gotta run interference here, and I don't know how I know what that means, but I got it. You got the shiny metal. You got the shiny metal, right? They love the shiny metal. You gotta toss that shiny metal everywhere, and then I'm gonna make an attack run, and we're gonna scatter them, and then Broody is gonna get those sweet eyes And
Clyde is
and-
just gonna go with your claws and be like, surely I would do less damage.
sure, you go duke it out. Hell yeah,
One
survival
eye
of the
each.
fittest in here.
One a pulpy mess, one intact. Who took out which?
What do you
Oh,
think?
Christ.
What do you think?
Okay. So, what if I fly over the crowd with this bag of shiny crap and then swan dive in
Then-
to get the eye?
Hell yes, hell yes. I'm in your jet stream. I'm in your jet. I'm aerodynamic. I'm like right up. I'll be right up behind you, and then, yeah.
Declan's looking at us like we're crazy.
Did
So-
did the guy with the beard, he just ran off?
He ran off. Broody saw him run to the other side of the village and duck into a house or a building.
I think I should follow him, but should I? I mean, feels like someone's gonna get fucking got in this attack run. I don't know. Is bro huddle up, bros. Bros and
Oh,
broettes.
I'm still gone.
Always.
I'm not
Yeah,
there.
always.
Yeah, Broody's just sitting there, just kind of looking at the ball guy, like just looking at his and the eyeball jewelry hanging from his.
I'm very tempted to just cast like the spell, like the light spell, conjure light, but like as bright as I possibly can, just to give some what's the word? Flashbang?
Yeah.
And you know what? For good measure, we'll throw a wand in there as well.
Yeah, that's true. We do it one. Okay, yeah. Let's go. Let's balls out. We need these eyes. I
So what?
The-
what
Go team.
do you and who do?
Hoorah.
Okay, hold on.
What was the number? No, someone already rolled, didn't
Yeah,
they?
we have a 44 for Emily, which I'm coming to in a second because I have that.
But then
Well,
another one
okay.
as well.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me roll. Oh god. Oh god.
I actually, just for the record, anyone that's just joining in for like the first time, I actually am a good DM. I'm not blowing my own horn here. I'm actually a good DM normally. I'm just saying, like this is not bog standard for me. Like I'm just saying.
Okay.
We
Well,
are terrible
standard.
players, though, so that's actually part of the course.
Excuse you.
Okay, I rolled a
I think you did a
79.
great job.
we're just better players in
Yes,
that
that's
we're
what it is.
consistently outmaneuvering him.
That's it. Yes, Craig, you got it.
What did you get out?
79.
Okay. So we'll come to the 44 in a second. Oh, for the love of Jesus Christ.
Where's Rudy above the whole crowd with the wand?
So
you're-
to clarify, the plan is blind them,
Throw
attack
money at them.
run, blind them, throw money at them. That's a weapon now. It's no longer a distraction. We do the
Raid someone
attack
with a gold
run
piece.
and then eyes. That's the plan. Let's.
Okay. So as the three as Rudy, Trudy, and Clyde are in their bro
Huddle.
swole huddle. They're
Swaddle.
swole. And the plan is being hatched. Rudy is just getting really pumped. And with the first beat of the wing, it literally, like, Trudy, you just feel like really light. You just feel like, whoa, yeah. And for a second, the swaddle just starts to lift on one side as Trudy begins to defy gravity and also can now fly.
Bro.
How does that work?
For the
Swimming?
next minute, Trudy the fox is now capable of flight. And you're just floating upwards. Again, still, but you're now kind of like with your little fox. Well, you're not little fox paws anymore. You're buff fox paws. One arm around Clyde, paw, leg around Clyde. You're hanging on, and you're agreeing to the plan, and you have the pouch with the gold and the silver and the pearls in it.
I'm just imagining like this fox kind of just spinning in the middle of the air, spreading coins and pearls everywhere.
Yes, it's actually Tails from Sonic, and he's just been slapped, and he's gonna just drop all the rings. Screw it, we might as well just start plagiarizing from other things now while we're at it. It's easier, everybody. It's for charity. They can't come after us. It's for charity.
They can't come after us.
At this point, with the plan kind of firm to everybody but Broody, who has no idea because Broody's just been staring at the necklace and the ball man. Trudy Fox glides over to the crowd, over them, and starts gnawing on the bag, the string on the bag, and it's like.
Wait, Trudy's casting light though, aren't they?
Yes, but with the bag in their mouth, and Rudy still so pumped. Rudy's like, yeah, holding the wand, just lets another spell off as as Trudy the Fox nyangs on the string, casts light at the same time. The bag illuminates. Everybody just sees this fox looking down at them with these big lit up animal eyes in like headlights.
Extremely buff fox, also very important.
Extremely buff fox, sorry, yes, with twinkling eyes. The crowd and the priest, who's like, "Oh my god, I thought this was a scam." Just see this fox light drop, and as it drops, at that exact moment, Rudy, just so pumped with the whole thing, another spell flies off, and this one's Emily's doing. And as the bag hits the ground and the pearls and the gold spills out, just thousands and thousands of butterflies just erupt out of the bag, and the crowd starts screaming. Like the crowd are like, "He's presented himself to us, the great eye, in butterfly form."
Butterfly?
Yes. It rhymes with eye. It's one of those things. It's a metaphor. You get it. The crowd are like, "Ah," and now the crowd are all trying to catch the butterflies. They are suitably distracted and slightly dazed from the flashbang that went off as well at the same time. It's just delirium at this point of view. Whatever you plan on doing now to get to the hunter cabin, you have a suitably distracted audience.
Is Trudy still up in the air?
Trudy's still up in the air. Yeah. Trudy's still just floating there, looking down.
Trudy's gonna look up, going, "That's so fucking unfair. Why am I the only one? Did anything happen to me?"
You fart.
Another one. We have three. What do we have? 3 more wands to use before
You
the
have
end
3
of
more
this game?
wands left to use.
We still got to get the eyes back, so don't worry.
You still have, there's
so
all that as well.
Clyde's gonna
This way.
go for it.
Okay,
So your man's gone into a building, hasn't he?
yes, yeah.
Okay. Can I run up and just come on this way, quick?
You see, Brody's like desperately trying to fly, and there's a faint smell of methane off of them, but you all follow Brody as they duck and dive and weave through the village. No, there's not a whole point. You don't have to speak. The villagers are stupid, apparently.
Wait, hang on. Are we making a break for it?
You're making a break for the
Dude.
Dude.
He's gone. He ran away.
Oh, okay. Just before we do that, Rudy is so pumped. Can he continue his attack run?
Sure. Who are you attacking?
Everyone.
Declan, have you turned to drink?
Rudy is not on Twitch. He's not. Not on Twitch. He's not.
That's the Sidona.
On
And you can't prove otherwise.
No, you can't.
in the middle of this, watching the butterflies and everything, Rudy goes, yes, and then like soars up into the air, screeches. Well, all the humans hear a screech, but like he just shouts, witness me, and then is going to cast fire across the entire crowd.
Maybe like a biblical angel. They're going to look up and see this fiery, flaming, crazy owl that's bull. I
So
just everyone's
you're-
going to go insane.
You're what are you? Okay, I'm very confused. What are you setting on fire?
Everybody.
Everyone down. As much as I possibly can.
They all
Okay.
played a role in this.
So you can add a point of danger.
Just one?
Them's the rules, I think.
I am the danger.
The rest of you, half scurrying towards the hunter's hut or the hunter's home or headquarters, whatever they are. You just hear Rudy shout, "Witness me!" How many of you actually turn back to watch what's about to unfold?
I think I'd be going after the butterflies.
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out this whole flight thing.
Okay.
I will turn around to watch.
Okay. So, Rudy screams, "Witness me!" Clyde, that kind of turns around to witness it, and just with his big old barn owl wings spread out, he flames erupt around him, and the high priest just screams, "Oh God! Oh no! He's out for vengeance! He's an angry god! He's an angry eye!" And the swarm of butterflies ignite. Yeah, like phosphorus, like butterfly phosphorus. And the crowd are screaming. Like the crowd are literally screaming as they are ignited in this wonderful butterfly dust cloud of flame.
Chill.
I mean, it wasn't really part of the whole resurrect the witch by, burning down the village, but here we are.
Bro, this went even better than we expected.
Bro, that was pretty awesome.
Bro,
There are
this
going to
was
be so many
perfect.
people who need to go to the witch now.
We're just drumming
Bro.
up business.
Yeah, here's capitalism.
We're gonna get so many eyes, bro.
Oh, so many eyes. Oh God.
War crimes. Okay. Apparently, yes, Brent. I'm sorry. That's where I don't draw.
Oh
Oh boy.
Poor
Charity.
Grant will never ever write a new game again, lest we tarnish it like we are doing right
No,
now.
he's currently inspired. It's
Okay.
5 idiots playing a TTRPG, and
Playing.
Right. crowd were distracted. Now they're on fire and fleeing, and the village, like, they're running into buildings. They're throwing themselves on the ground, stop, drop, and roll, and all that stuff. If that's what you do. I mean, they're still distracted. If that's what your aim was, they're
Okay,
now
great.
distracted on burning.
To
Don't
the
burn
eyes.
the fucking eyes! Don't burn the eyes!
You hear a lot of
Actually,
people
yeah.
screaming, my eyes are burning. They're of no use. My eyes are no use anymore.
Oh god damn it! That means this guy who ran away is the only guy with good eyes.
Oh, how
Let's
convenient.
go.
That's
Let's
why we
go.
need this guy. Guys, let's go, bro. Come on.
Eyes,
Bro.
eyes, eyes,
Bro, lead the
eyes,
way.
eyes.
Lead the way, my man. Look at you.
Yeah,
Look at you. You got so buff you lifted off the ground.
Give a lift, Trudy.
Bro,
Scratchy.
do you even, bro, do you even lift? Oh,
It's really good lift, actually. to be
bro.
fair.
Oh,
Oh my god. You out buffed gravity, bro.
you think if
Okay,
I
gravity suitably emasculated. You're outside the hut. Broody is sitting there doing that weird cat thing where it's like not quite scratching, but more just pawing at the door. He's also horny, apparently. So.
Oh
He's
my
buff,
God,
he's
real
horny,
cat
and he wants
is
eyes.
just staring at me. Finn, stop looking at me and judging me.
Oh.
It's
No,
testosterone, bro.
He's disgusted.
Oh.
I'm sorry for doing your species a dirty.
You hear a commotion coming from inside the hut.
Is there a window or anything nearby?
There is, but it is closed.
Okay, but Brady's gonna hop up on the window and have a little peer inside.
You okay. And it's like given a kind of a gawk inside, you see the same man that you stitched the mustache and beard together. Yeah, you just see he's desperately he's trying to like cut it, but not like he's afraid of like cutting his lip. He's like no. So yeah, he's trying to pull it out a little bit, and he's got a little scissors, and he's just trying to cut it.
Is he the only person in there that I can see?
Yes, yeah, and you can see that he's put his weapons down to one side.
Quick! He's unarmed. Let's get the bastard.
Is there a chimney?
There is a chimney, but there's smoke coming out of the chimney.
There is a saying about fire and what you should do, and
Somebody knock on the door.
No, I think it's that you don't go near it. Don't go near the fire.
What about
you hear people kind of going? You hear people back in the crowd going, "We didn't go near the fire; it came near us." It's spontaneously combusted. What's wrong with the butterflies here?
I think I hear something, you guys. It sounds like, and he whips his head like 360 degrees. It sounds like eyes in there. Let's go.
I'm actually a fan of just knocking and just being like,
Kiss your eyes.
yeah,
Confidence,
eyes.
bro.
One
Just
of you's knock, and then
open the
I'll
door.
cast Speak Human to say,
Kiss
open
your
the
eyes,
door.
mate.
Gives you no. Open the door. It's your friendly neighborhood
Eye collector.
forest animals. What am I, the TV license man?
He's definitely not open the door for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So can somebody give who's knocking on the door?
I am.
Okay. Give me give me. You know what? To be fair, it's just a knock on the door. You can just give me a fierce roll. Just
Just
make
a-
it
And
loud
then
enough.
Fierce knock on the door.
A fierce knock on the door.
could Brady be prepared just at the side of the door?
And actually, you get to
run
roll
in?
that with advantage, because you are swole now. So you get to roll 2d10s and pick
Ooh.
the better of the two.
Well, I got a 6 plus 2 already, so it's
Okay.
Ooh,
And it's
look at
pretty.
you.
Oh, 9. 9 plus 2.
Now it's a much firmer knock. Now it's a a gentleman with a purpose knock.
I am flying, so am I just gonna headbutt like a head,
Yeah.
they're just gonna be like a fox's head just comes through the door and just be like,
Telegram.
And then spins.
We've come for your eyes. Stop.
Right. So you can add a point of danger just for the door thing. But you knock on the door and there's just a sound from inside. And Broody, you see that he seems to be kind of gesturing at the door, but he's still trying to cut at the mustache. These are obviously triple glazed windows, so because he can't hear the screaming outside.
He doesn't hear.
He doesn't hear the screaming outside. He heard the knock, but you saw him
Okay.
gesture at the door, and he went back to cutting the mustache.
I obviously saw because I'm still at the window. Did I?
Yes.
He's not answering. Knock again. Use that thick skull of yours. Come on, Trudy.
I knock again.
Okay.
Harder.
You can add another point of danger. And
Fine, tell them we've got some eyes.
And sorry, Declan.
Yeah, you can roll for fierce. And what are you doing, Clyde?
I'm going to look for.
Clyde is clearly playing another TTRPG.
I'm looking at the chat.
Okay.
I am going to fly around the back and see if there's another window.
Okay. You
4.
Okay. Your danger at this point is at 2. Okay. You wrap your head on the door again. This time it's not as hard because your head is really, really sore. And again, this time, Broody, you don't see him even hear the knock. He doesn't seem to gesture. He's now cut about halfway through the sewed up mustache chin thing.
The bastard isn't listening. We need another way in.
How flammable would you say this place looks?
It's
We
a thatched
don't wanna
roof, right?
burn the eyes.
It is a thatched roof.
Good to know. Just filing it away.
Okay.
Is there another window?
There is another window, and you can see into what appears to be like a little small little kitchenette. It looks a little bit like Amaryllis's.
Is the window open?
It's not. No.
Can I look for a hole in the roof?
I tell you what. Give me a clever roll.
I can do that. I cannot do that.
Okay. What did you get?
I got a 3.
Okay.
And you
And
got
your
3
danger is
danger.
currently at?
3.
Okay.
See ya, Clyde.
Seeing like you kind of looking in the window being all crow-like, and it's it's like the middle of the night now. The hunter sees you, Clyde, and before you have a chance to react, he chucks a tankard, like an ale tankard, right through the window, and it clocks you straight on the head. You are incapacitated.
Rude.
You all hear a smashing sound, and the window's open. But if that,
Yeah.
Yeah, Brody's gonna run around and out of the way, Clyde. I'm just gonna swipe his unmoving body to the side.
Guys, Clyde found a way in. Yeah.
Yes, you all scurry around the back, and you see Clyde's unconscious body lying there, limp, a little bit like Amarilla's was this morning.
Is he broken or is he okay?
He's not moving, but like he's great. He's fine.
He's fine. Sleep is one of the 3 legs on the stool of fitness.
There's now a hole in the window.
We should use the wand on Clyde just to make sure.
Are we okay? Okay. I tell you what, Clyde, do you want to give me another roll there for the old?
Oh Jesus.
Meanwhile, Brody's gonna kind of just go over and realize he's kind of hungry and just have a little sniff of Clyde.
Oh no.
You reckon he's good, or he's kind of a bit wiry, isn't he? He's not really swole.
That's
I'm
rude.
hungry.
23.
Again,
Killer cure.
as you, at this point, seeing that, seeing that Clyde hasn't moved with all of your jibes from Broody, you just stick him with the wand, and when you do, he just changes vibrant blue.
Yes.
Still unconscious.
Yes.
He's still unconscious, but he's now blue. He's now a bluebird.
Aww.
Well, I'm out of ideas. Let's go inside.
No, that was great. I think that's good.
You can hear shuffling coming from inside.
Let's just bring him with us, and I'm gonna take Clyde and my gob, and instinctively I'm gonna do that thing where you're gonna go, "Arr!" You know, when a cat shakes something that it catches, but he's gonna catch himself and stop.
Okay.
He's gonna try and jump in, and like immediately, if there's like a table, if it was a little kitchenette, if there's a table or something, he's gonna try and get it down under and hide.
Give me a
underneath that.
sly check as you sneak in.
Ooh, 11.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Even with a bird in your mouth, you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a great gift for Amaryllis when she wakes up. I gotta bring this with me. And I gotta just like blah, over there. Be like, it's gonna be a surprise. I gotta be really quiet about it. So you slink in. You're like, oh, and you slink in, and like the kitchenette is like the little countertop. It's covered in like loads of things. There's like a pepper shaker over there with the lid precariously screwed on, and there's a tin of things over there, and there's some cutlery and some delf, like, you know, haphazardly stacked. And you're like, bam, bam, ba-da, bam, bam, ba-da-da-da-da, through all of it. Obviously, you're not saying that out loud, because but you feel it. You feel it in your cat oats, and you are onto the counter, onto the ground.
Clyde flung to the side.
Yeah.
Thunk. Slides down the window.
Another hole opens in the window.
Our escape route. Check.
Yes. Rudy and Trudy, what are you doing?
I mean, I think we have to take him by surprise while he's still fiddling with his mustache.
Okay.
Like, I think
Dirty
I have
fiddler.
to. Yeah. I think I have to use my fierce for
Okay.
first time ever, and just I don't know. I got to attack him. Got to go for
Okay.
the
You're
throat.
going for the attack.
Yeah.
And can Broody prep himself to do that thing that cats do, especially when you're going down the stairs where they go under your legs and try and kill you? And he's ready to like be behind this guy's legs. So when the attack comes, hopefully he will trip over me.
Okay. So you're going to do that. And Rudy, what are you doing?
Rudy is going to.
Just want.
No, Rudy is going to try
Wand.
and block the exits to prevent a potential escape.
A tiny little owl. Can't get
Owls
through
are
me.
big. Are barn owls big? No,
Just
for real. Are
flying
barn
midair,
owls
like
big?
pressing against the door. Okay.
I mean, if you need to, he'll burst into flames. So
Sure. Okay. Trudy, give me a fierce roll. With advantage because Broody is going to do that weird cat gonna kill you on the stairs thing at the hunter's feet.
Oh.
oh my god, barn owls are small.
Yeah, but don't they have those gross ears? It's just like a hole.
Advantage.
Show me
means
your
I get
gross
2
ears.
rolls.
Yeah.
Hold on, no. Yeah, I got a 7 and a 1, so I'll take the 7. Plus 2,
Ooh.
which is a 9.
Okay. I also forgot that Trudy's still flying. How does what does you're literally gonna like just cannonball straight towards him?
I think fly really slowly. That would be creepier.
Yes,
Float
he's
at
the
him.
blimp of foxes. Like,
He makes
Aha.
noise and everything that kind of.
Yeah.
that's why
And it takes
the
me
low
half.
hum of the engines.
It takes 20 minutes to turn, so I was like, hold on.
So seeing with that sort of like slow maneuver and with Rudy outside like blocking the door, and Clyde outside. Well, no, sorry, Clyde slumped against the kitchen cupboard. Like,
He's fine.
if he wasn't dead before, he's probably dead now. Broody, you've slinked into the kitchen and you can see him, and he's kind of now he's finished with the mustache. Like he's actually cut right through it. He's saying loads of horrible things. It's just awful language, terrible language. You're actually making a mental note of all the words because they sound great. And you're definitely going to call Clyde all of them when Clyde eventually wakes up. But if and when eventually, if we reach €550, Clyde will wake up. It's on you, donators. It's on you.
Oh, poor
not me.
Clyde.
But as you've slinked in and you see him, he's looking in the mirror now, and he seems to be kind of like hiding up the mustache a little bit. He's like, oh, for heaven's sake! Oh, my word! I look positively boorish. This is ridiculous. I look like some sort of like teenager that's barely festering hair on their adolescent chin. Oh, my word. Oh, if Mama Brassica could see me now. And he's just checking it out a little bit. No, this won't do. No. Marshfield Brassica is a pious man, a learned man, and he holds up a razor, and he's like, no. And he's now fighting with himself. No, the beard distinguishes you, Marshfield. And at that very moment, behind him in the mirror, just floating very slowly, a fox-like spectre appears. A blimp-like spectre appears. And at his feet, Broody just flops straight down. And he turns frightened, like literally frightened, just as Trudy the fox with his swole fox paws is like gonna shove him. He spins too quickly, loses his balance, falls, and bangs his head against the mantelpiece.
Oh, no.
And there's a crack.
Was I
There's
fall
a
out?
there's a and his eyes just fall out of his head. They've just dislodged. That's how it works, everybody. It's not a tap; it's a full-on crack, and they just boop. But yeah, there's a crack, and he slumps to the ground, and he's lying like he cracks his head and then falls forward flat. And Broody and Trudy, you can't help but notice he's fallen kind of similarly to the way that you saw Amaryllis's body this morning. Like he's lying there, he's like, and his head's turned and his eyes are open and they're looking at you, and they're yellow.
Oh. Are they yellow? They're yellow.
They're grey. They're grey. They're grey. They're just grey. Everything's grey.
Yellow.
But they're grey. Yes, they're glow yellow.
Fuck's sake, Clyde! Why did you have to pass out now? Can I try and go over and like retrieve Clyde and then like get his leg in my gob and try and jimmy his claw onto the eye?
Bros, sit rep, bros.
We have to get the eyes. Come on, Rudy.
Slowly float down. Hold up.
Beep,
Wait.
beep,
Yep.
beep.
Hold on.
Okay.
You know what's really Clyde's actually €8 away from being resurrected by chat.
I gave €20 to Clyde back.
Oh, thanks. I feel bad now.
Go on,
Do
give
you
it to
ever-
a scab. Bring yourself back.
I didn't make €30.
You, as you were trying to can open the eyes using Clyde's claws, talons. Yeah, they actually do. They come loose. It's not. You don't bang them. You don't crack them open. You have to actually like twist them. They're twisty. They're like light bulbs. You have to twist them out. A little bit of pressure, and you twist, and it comes straight out. It's like, and they do.
I really hate when they're the bayonet ones where you have to do the weird other thing. Yeah.
It's
Push,
It's off.
and then-
You're like, and then it's
so much
just
difficult
awkward.
to change eyes. Yeah.
But you, Broody, you in your two cat paws, you were holding the witch hunter's eyes.
Who wants one?
And now we got to get 2 other eyes in order to bring the witch hunter back. And then no, wait, hold on.
But all the other eyes are melted. They're all gone, Trudy. Because of
oh, yes.
somebody.
Hey, it was a greater will than my own.
Does Trudy still have the felt bag?
No, you dropped that.
Shit. We need something. We need something to carry the eyeballs.
Just give me the string it's on. I'll carry it in my mouth.
Oh!
He went there.
Oh boy.
Every now and then you hit some flies when you're like soaring, but other than that, it should be pretty okay. It's like a streamer.
Yeah, but really, what if you drop them? I don't
What do you mean, what if I drop them? Do I look like some sort of oafish owl?
Oh,
Me?
Trudy, are you gonna tell him?
Clyde, stand up for me, bro. Clyde.
Clyde.
Clyde
Come on,
flops down.
Clyde.
You try to stand him up, but he just flops straight down.
Come on, try the wand again, Rudy. I don't want to carry him home.
You know what? The wand got us into this, and the wand will probably fix everything. Let's go.
Should we go outside first?
Clyde.
Nope. Okay.
Okay, so I haven't had a chance to roll a D100 yet, and in the spirit of this, I feel like I deserve it. So here's what we're doing. That is I think, did we already get this? Did we already get 64?
No, we got 44.
So you, as you do this, and you're giving this grand epitaph about what you have to do, and this will definitely bring Clyde back, and you're all in it together. You all just see Rudy shake the wand, and goes completely silent, and he's completely silent for the next minute.
Oh, Rudy's silent.
Rudy's silent.
Oh, that's grand. That's okay. I think meant the wand stopped working.
But I still don't wake up.
You're still no.
Oh,
I told you it's
my
on chat.
idiot.
You're £8. You're £8 away from it.
He throws up a pellet.
Oh. Brody's gonna put it back in, and like, on your next silent scream.
So, are you taking the eyeballs in your mouth and flying back to Amaryllis's?
No, Brody's gonna look for, is there like a napkin or something, or a cloth?
Okay,
around?
give me a clever.
Ooh. 4.
Thank you very much, Tyner. Because just in the spirit of charity and just the miracle, it's an absolute miracle. Clyde just walks away from the light, and as he opens and calls out, the first thing Clyde screams is Tyner! For no other reason, but Rudy screams nothing. He screams, and nothing happens. He's terrified because Clyde's come back to life.
Thanks.
Bro, you're okay.
You're fine.
And you're blue now.
Yes, you're still blue. You're yeah. But
What was
like
it
cool blue. It's like that real, like, you know, you just did the leave insert and you dyed your hair blue because you're finding yourself. You're like, yeah.
Gotta read.
Yes. Can you give me a roll of clever, please, Broody?
Oh, a 4.
Oh, what was your danger?
2.
Oh, very close. Very close there.
Oh.
You're looking. You don't find an eye bag like that. It clearly doesn't scare you. Like, he was so obviously, you know, he lived on the dangerous side of life and didn't feel the need to carry an eye bag around with him. But you do find a trash bag.
Can I cast clean on the trash bag? I don't want to give Amaryllis dirty eyeballs.
Yes, fine. You clean.
Just add that point of danger for cleaning the dirty bag.
10 points of danger.
Living on the edge.
You walk up, and your version of clean the bag is you scratch it. You just start scratching it, and like all the rubbish just falls out of it, and then the bag mends itself, and it's clean. And it's scented now as well. It's one of those scented bin bags.
Lovely.
Yes. And you can pop the eyeballs in the bag.
I don't want to pop them though. Can I
No, sorry, you can place the eyeballs gently into the bin bag.
All right, go on. I'm not carrying that. Someone else.
Clyde's gonna snatch you and take off. Let's go.
Just walk outside to the horror that is
Decimation of the village.
Yes, the village is actually a flame. Like the whole of the village is just a flame. It's just the village is an inferno.
I'm gonna hiss at the witch hunter as I go out.
You know what, guys? We should do this more often.
Genocide.
Rudy is still screaming silently. It's just this owl flying through the flames, screaming, but no sound is made. The Jackson
happened to
Pollock
him?
painting waiting to happen.
Oh,
You're heading back to the hut.
Mm-hmm.
The four of you make your way back. No one's going to stop you. They're terrified now. The village will rise up against the familiar tyrants someday, but not now. But the four of you make your way back to Amaryllis's hut. And there inside, you pull the Rastafarian quilt off of her. And so, yep. And you... Broody, with the two eyeballs, you're like, do we you just pop them on her. And as this happens, because I believe we've one charge of the wand left.
Yep.
The eyes just pop, and there's this, and there's an audible like a bubble popping. It's like boop, boop. And then there's like a kind of a twinkling of light. And you just hear, oh my, oh wow, oh, and Amaryllis kind of just sits up, and she grabs her Rastafarian quilt and she wraps it around herself, and she's like, oh, and she sees the book on the ground, and she sees the state of the place, and the four very swole familiars in front of her. And, Rudy with the Rudy still with the wand. Oh my days and my stars! You little angels, you buff, muscular, hunky angels. Except you, Broody. That pouch is I've told you, stop eating the others' snacks.
Well, while she's doing this speech, I'm going to do what my cats do when I come in the door, and I'm going to give it another.
Just to round it out.
The rest
Not on
of
the
the
quilt, not on the quilt.
the rest of us are just flexing in the corner. Like,
And as the rest of you are flexing and Broody is gag reflexing, the Amaryllis just stands up and she kind of rolls her shoulders and Broody, what have I told you? And she takes the wand from your hands. And she's wearing kind of a short, simple little kind of soft lavender dress, and she just kind of flicks her hair out a little bit, and you see that the injuries that she had sustained in the attack have gone. And
the knife wounds.
The knife wounds that she was strangled with, just the heels. Do I detect the faint smell of smoke? And she's just kind of or barbecue? Is that butterfly phosphorus? And she's just no, I'm clearly imagining it. And she kind of looks out around. She goes, "Oh, the place is a bit of a mess. Oh, we can't have this. We can't have this. The place should be pretty and simple and wonderful and buff." And she opens the door, and as light on a new day opens, with Rudy and Clyde perching on her left shoulder, Trudy the fox hopping up into her arms, and Broody just kind of doing that weird cat massage thing against her legs, with the wand in her hand. And Rudy, never leave a charged wand around the house. And she just throws the magic out of the house, and it hits the open field in front of you, and you all just see thousands and thousands of really buff daffodils just, just explode, like these just super like muscular stemmed daffodils, like really buff leaves. And she's like, that's not the magic. And then she just she kind of like flits a little bit. She's like, oh well. And the four of you have managed to get jacked. And I'm just reading some of the chat comments. Emma, James is making weird faces and Fee is screaming genocide. Yep, this seems all about right. That was
not just screaming about, actually enacting.
Yeah, we did.
I did nothing. It's all on Rudy.
Thank you, everybody, for coming along this evening. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your amazing donations. We didn't just reach our goal, we smashed it with an extra €50, which was phenomenal. So all the guys in Romancing the Dungeon and all the gang in Rise of the Forsaken are getting a level up, but that doesn't mean they're safe. It doesn't mean they can't, they can't. So there's that. We will also be releasing the Unamuni rap for Rise of the Forsaken. That will be dropping. Stay tuned. It'll be released on iTunes and Spotify. So
like dropping, like it'll like land with a wet splat onto your feed.
Tonally as well, actually. That's the tone she was
rude.
But
this is going to be the next Rebecca Black Friday, you know.
Yeah.
I won't see a penny.
Thank you so much to Craig, not Heya. I'm never ever gonna live that down ever.
That's so good.
I was like, maybe he doesn't want his name on this. I wouldn't have my name on this. So Heya, and these are my pronouns.
Christ.
So maybe you'll have a new name around the office, Craig. Maybe you have a new nickname around the office, and everyone's just going to call you Heya.
I'm genuinely, I'm just looking at it here. It's like you said. It's like, hey man, for the overlay on stream, what's name/pronouns are you comfortable sharing? And I literally, I mean, hey, comma, he, him is great.
So it's on you,
It's your
Craig.
own
I'm here. It's on you.
That was the format you specified, and I did answer. So you know, this is one of those birthday cakes that says your message here in icing on top. You know? Yeah, this is.
Oh,
I was like, you know what? Everyone has different names these days. So, Craig, obviously from ICS and one of the organizers behind the campaign that we have been working with Heroes from Home. All your donations that over our Sunday stream and tonight's stream are going directly to the Irish Cancer Society. So thank you so much, and thank you, Craig, for joining us. And this is not going to see the light of the day. I can't imagine the Irish Cancer Society are like, you know, we need to put this in the video. This needs to be in the video.
Don't forget to thank Grant for watching this dumpster
Yes,
fire.
thanks. If you want to run a version of The Witch is Dead that's actually good, you can find it. You can search The Witch is Dead or Google Grant Howitt, and it'll come up straight away. We'll put a link to it for you in chat in a moment. So thank you for that. I'm another thing I'm not going to live down. So a lot of things that we've got out of this. I've got a lot of shame. Got a lot of shame in this. So yeah. Thank you again. We are D8 Dungeon. We are an Irish group of TTRPGers with a stream on Twitch every second Sunday called Rise of the Forsaken. A D&D 5e adventure steeped in Irish mythology about 5 siblings struggling to find their place in the world after realizing that the life they've lived up to this point hasn't been a lie. And a podcast called Romancing the Dungeon, another D&D 5e adventure, but all it's basically what if your favorite rom-com movie was a D&D adventure. And it's that comes out. There's a brand new episode of that dropping tomorrow. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. Romancing the Dungeon, and we have a new show starting actually in a week, tonight week, stemming from Romancing the Dungeon, a gothic horror adventure called Saving Grace, exploring the darker side of the world of Romancing the Dungeon. That drops next week, so we hope you can check those out. You can find us on social media at D8 Dungeon. There's still plenty of time to get involved with Heroes from Home. There are many Irish streamers doing this over the next couple of days and nights. So if you weren't able to give this evening, and maybe payday is tomorrow, it's Friday, right? A lot of people payday Friday. So you can always drop in there. Our Tiltify will be up for another while longer, so you'll be able to donate to this as well if you wish. Thank you all so much. That was an absolute blast. You were hilarious.
Thank you, Declan.
Thank you very much for being so patient with us. A lot of fun.
I have a pain in my stomach from my patience.
That's an ulcer, Declan, and you're going to be checked
out. My ulcer's called Heya from now.
Oh god.
We are gonna drop in one or the other. So stick around. We're keeping the hype train going, and we're gonna jump in on another streamer. I think James is taking control of that, and we are gonna drop in on somebody else who's streaming. So let's follow along. Let's see what they're doing. And thank you all again so much for your time this evening. And yeah, Deadly Buzz.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Set everyone on fire.